Absolutely amazing, guys. Absolutely amazing. Okay guys, finally we have a model release from OpenAI. This is the strawberry model that we have been waiting for, and it is called OpenAI O1. So in this video, I'll be testing this model, comparing it with GPT-4 and Claude 3.5 Sonnet on only hard questions and not easy questions. After that, I have read all the articles, so I will be telling you that there are not just two models that everybody is covering. Actually, there are 4 models that are mentioned in the articles. After that, I will also be telling you about the API details and everything. See guys, I could have split this into many videos, but I wanted to cover it all at once. So make sure you please like this video and watch till the end. So let's get started guys. Here you can see introducing OpenAI O1. We have developed a new series of AI models designed to spend more time thinking before they respond. Here is the latest news on research, product and other updates. So we will be looking at everything. First, we'll be testing this model. Okay guys, so we are at the ChatGPT website. Here you can see the top 3 most intelligent models are mentioned over here. GPT-4o, O1 preview uses advanced reasoning, and O1 mini faster at reasoning. Now I have also opened up Claude, and the first question which everybody is talking about, and we have been testing this for a long time, is how many R's in strawberry, snowberry and raspberry. So the correct answer is 8. I will be not showing the generation time for GPT-4o and Claude, but I will be showing you for the O1 model because it's slightly different. So let's start. Okay guys, we have got the output for GPT-4o. It says that there are 3 R's in raspberry, 2 R's in snowberry, and strawberry it has 2 R's, which is wrong. There are 3 R's. So the total comes out to be 7, which is wrong. Now let's ask this to Claude. Okay guys, I'm at Claude. So let's ask this question to 3.5 Sonnet. Okay guys, we have got the generation from 3.5 Sonnet. It says that there are 5 R's, which is wrong. So both the GPT-4o and the 3.5 Sonnet model failed in this test. Now let's test the O1 preview model. Let's go to O1 preview. Let's start a new chat and let's paste this question. Yes. How many R's in strawberry, snowberry and raspberry? So I'll be showing you the generation. Now as we send, you can see that it has started to think. Now if you open this drop down, you can see it is counting all the occurrences. Let me show you counting occurrences. I'm working through the task of counting the numbers of R's in strawberry, snowberry and raspberry. Now it has listed all of them and it has counted. And the answer is 8. So this is a pass. GPT-4o failed, 3.5 Sonnet failed, and O1 preview model passed. Okay guys, we asked a reasoning question, right? Now we'll be asking a math question, after that a coding question, and after that an sentence understanding question. So guys, this is the max question. Here you can see I have an initial balance of $100,000. I earn $15,000 per month for every $100,000 in my balance. As my balance grows, my earnings increase in steps. Specifically, each time my balance increases by $100,000, my monthly earnings increase by $15,000. So here is all the explanation, and at the end we ask how much will I have after 3 years, that is 36 months. What will be my total amount? So this is a hard max question, so it goes on to do everything. At the end it says that at the end of 36 months I will be having $9,475,000. So this is the answer we are getting from GPT-4o, and it is actually wrong, not according to my calculation. So let's ask this question to 3.5 Sonnet. Okay guys, we have asked the 3.5 Sonnet model the same question in the same way, and it says the answer is 4,455,000. So this is also wrong guys, not according to my calculation. So both these models have failed. Now let's ask the preview models, and let me tell you one thing here. GPT-4o actually used code interpreter and calculated for it, and O1 preview model can't use calculation, so it has to manually generate that answer. So even in that scenario, is O1 model able to at least come close to my question? Let's see. So I've pasted the question, let's send it. As you can see, it has started to think. Determining earnings growth. I'm thinking through the balance increase in correlation with monthly earnings, which rise as balance hits specific thresholds. Monitoring earnings progression, determining the timeline, finding time increments, tracking progress, tracking earning evolution, measuring cumulative time. So you can see guys, it is still thinking and how many steps it is going through. So there is not a clear definitive number of steps that it will go through. For a very simple questions it takes 1 second, and it will mention that it took less than 1 second. For very hard questions it can take more than minutes. The highest I saw is around 117 seconds, which is around 1.5 minutes. So it has gone through the thought process. As you can see, thought about 53 seconds. As I told you, for hard questions it will do that. Okay guys, we have got the answer from O1 preview model, and the answer is 12,500,000. So this is not the right answer guys, but according to my calculation it was 12,325,000. Very close compared to the absolutely far-fetched answer of 4 million and the 9 million that GPT-4o gave. So it is, I think, very good in max. So now let's move on to the coding question. Okay guys, moving on to the coding question. Now I have asked to create a Pac-Man game. You know the Pac-Man game in Python, and I have also given all the constraints that it cannot use any external file. It can use any library which it wants. If it can generate any kind of image, video or audio from these libraries, then it's okay. Everything has to be done inside the code, and all the core features, mechanics and everything has been mentioned. So let's try it with GPT-4o. Let's see what it gets. So here is the whole prompt if you want to have a look. Okay guys, the code is generated. Let's copy it and paste it. Let's see what we get. So immediately we are seeing one error when it comes to GPT-4o. So let's run it. Okay, so it doesn't run, and so here we are getting an error. So this is a fail guys. Now testing this with the Claude. Okay guys, Claude has generated the whole code. Let's copy it. Let's test it out. Let's clear the previous code. Paste it. Immediately we don't see any errors. Good start. So let's run it. Okay, so we have the game, but it's not usable. The controls are not working, but the overall looks and the walls is nice. I don't see any kind of clogging in these walls. That is nice, but yeah, it's not functional. So this is a fail. The previous state of the art in the best model failed. Okay guys, now it's time for the O1 model. Let's paste it. Let's see. So let's see the thinking process. Crafting Pac-Man. I am thinking through a Python based Pac-Man game, skillfully sidestepping external files like images or audio. Instead, I will rely on Pygame for graphics and game logic, ensuring everything is self-contained. Now we're designing the Pac-Man, generating thoughtful code, ensuring accuracy, piecing together code, crafting the game. So it took 11 seconds for it. Now the code is being generated. Seems like a pretty long code. So let's copy this and let's see how big of an improvement or any improvement is there or not. So let's delete it. Let's paste. So immediately we don't see any errors. Very nice. Now let's run it. Absolutely amazing guys. Absolutely amazing. I mean, like, I can't even tell you how it performs. I mean, like, this is the exact Pac-Man game, but there is one error. I think they are not able to come out. Okay, now they are able to come out. So it takes them some time, but I mean, like, it's absolutely amazing guys. It is a complete functional Pac-Man game. So let's see. Okay, game over. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. There is some errors, I think, like the walls is quite difficult for the ghost, but I mean, like, it's night and day. So okay guys, moving on to the last question. For the last 3 questions, the O1 model performed very well, and the coding, I mean, like, I don't have any words. So this is the last question. Write a grammatically correct sentence without using any letter more than once. So this is a question which has been mentioned in the OpenAI blog, which we'll be looking at after this. So let's see how these 3 models compare when it comes to sentence understanding and sentence generation basically. So I have set up another ChatGPT tab, and here we'll be checking if the sentence is grammatically correct or not, because the sentences are quite complex. Okay guys, so write a grammatically correct sentence without using any letter more than once. So this is the generation from GPT-4o. Let's test it in O1 preview model, and let's ask, is this sentence grammatically correct? So yes, the sentence is grammatically correct. So GPT-4o passed this. Let's copy this question and ask Claude for the same question. Let's clear the coding one and let's paste it. Okay guys, we have got the generation from Claude as well, and let's ask, is this sentence grammatically correct? And check if every letter is only used once or not. Okay guys, so Claude failed it. It says that big fox jumps over the lazy hind is not grammatically correct in standard English, and also the occurrences, you can see I and P, I and O occur 2 times. So this is a fail for the Claude model, and I think I didn't check the ChatGPT generation for this occurrence of only once. So let's check that as well. Move on to O1 preview. Let's change the sentence. Okay, so thought for 5 seconds. Yes, the sentence jumpy frog died briskly is grammatically correct, and here you can see it says that there are letters which are repeated. So R appears both in frogs and briskly. SQ appears in frogs and briskly, and I appears in dive and briskly. Y appears in jumpy and briskly. So Claude and GPT actually both failed. Test out the O1 preview model with the same question. Let's copy the question and let's see if O1 preview model is able to answer this or not. New chat and let's paste this. So creating a unique sentence, evaluating letter sequences, crafting a unique sentence, crafting unique words. So you can pause and have a look at all this internal descriptions and thinking it is doing. So now you can see it is taking a bit longer. So as I told you, it varies depending on the question. The model decides whether it has to use more of the thinking process or less. So CVM, Fijord, Bank, Glyph, Vexed, Quiz. So it thought for 38 seconds and gave us this sentence, and I don't have much hopes from this sentence if you ask me. Okay, so let's edit it, and okay, I didn't copy it. So let's ask him if this sentence is grammatically correct or not. Okay guys, so it is hard for us to understand, but it is when it's self-evaluating itself, it is saying that yes, the sentence is grammatically correct and it is doing the analysis, and there seems to be a meaning of it. The glyphs on the bank of the Fajord and a CWM something, and also the letter usage is 1. So let's ask it. I don't understand what this sentence means. Please explain. So it is thought for 11 seconds and giving a very descriptive answer. Where is the overall meaning? The sentence suggests that the glyphs found on the bank of Fajord in a mountain valley caused the annoyance or difficulty to a quiz. So this is a pass. So you saw in all the 4 tests, both the GPT-4 and the Claude model failed. And when it come to max, the Claude model failed miserably. In coding, the generated code was better compared to GPT-4o, but the code generated with O1 was, night and day difference. So you saw the performance of this model. So okay guys, so now let's get into the docs. I have read all the 4 articles, and as I told you, there are 4 models, not 2 models. So I'll be telling you all those 4 models. First, let's see OpenAI O1. The model. As you can see, they are telling a new series of reasoning models for solving hard problems, available starting 12 September. So there is nothing special in this article. Let's move on to the research article. Learning to reason with LLMs. So in this we see the benchmarks. Now let's move on to the first benchmark. This is evals. Okay. So it was tested in the AIME Math Olympiad, in Code Forces coding competition, and GPQA Diamond, which is one of the best benchmarks which is still relevant. So here you can see a new model which is not mentioned, which is not present in ChatGPT. The ChatGPT model is O1 preview, but here you can see we have the non-preview O1 model. Here you can see when it comes to Math Olympiad, GPT-4o fails miserably at 13.4%, and O1 preview has 56.7% accuracy, and O1 model has whopping 83% accuracy when it comes to math. So we don't have access to this model, but it's nice. When it comes to coding, you can see the same thing. In our test also we saw very big increase, and here we are seeing that GPT-4o scores 11, O1 preview model scores 62, and the O1 model scores 89. So they should have mentioned Sonnet as well, but okay, Sonnet may be something somewhere around 20 I guess, but nothing compared to the O1 preview model. So this is the coding benchmark, and you can see in PhD level science questions. Guys, here GPT-4o scored 56.1, and it was not at one shot but based on performance of majority vote. So this gray you are seeing, this is when they reached at a consensus with 64 samples. So this is the score, that is 56.1. O1 preview model has 78.3. O1 has 78, which is less, and here you can see guys, expert human has just 69.7. These 2 models are even better than a human when it comes to GPQA Diamond questions. What else is there to say? So these were some real life competitions. Now if you go on to the benchmarks, they have mentioned that. So when it comes to benchmarks, they are telling that GSM 8K, which is grade 8 level questions and math benchmark, they are retiring these benchmarks because we cannot differentiate these models because they are very close to nearly solving that. So here you can see a new set of benchmarks which is quite different. When it comes to machine learning benchmarks, in math benchmarks, the improvement is very significant, moving up to 94 compared to 60. Same is with Math Vista MMLU, VAL and MMLU. So when it comes to PhD level science question, you can see the greatest difference is physics, where you have to use max up to some extent and better reasoning. So the greatest performance bump is in max, then chemistry, then biology. Now even in the exams you can see when it comes to English language there is exactly no difference. The scores are exactly same because there is no point, there is no difference when it comes to, as I said you, physics, LSAT, calculus, chemistry, all of these we are seeing huge improvements. Same when it comes to MMLU categories, mathematics shows we see the highest difference, and also formal logic. So what we can understand is in whichever scenarios where there are calculations, coding, things like that, you will see a major improvement. But when it comes to English and things like that, you might not need OpenAI O1 preview model. You can see guys, when it comes to preference, as I told you, when it comes to mathematical calculation compared to GPT-4, you can see 70% of the times people prefer O1 preview model. Same comes to data analysis, computer programming. But when it comes to editing text or personal writing, see, this model is not preferred, as I told you. So it's not necessary to use everything on this model. Okay guys, so as I promised you, there were 4 models, right? I told you the O1 preview model, the O1 mini model, and the original O1 model. These 3 are over. Now the 4th model is a special model that was fine-tuned for coding. So this is the paragraph. I couldn't understand it much, so I just gave it to the preview model and told it to, just explain this to me. So here you can see this is the 2024 International Olympiad in Informatics, IOI. So in this competition, this new trained model was competed with the humans in the same conditions and constraints. So what are the conditions? Time limited. It had 10 hours to work on the problems. There were 6 challenging algorithmic problems, and the submission limit for every problem, the model could only give 50 submissions. So with this constraints, the test results are as you can see over here. So it used the test time selection strategy. What it did is it generated many generations, and then from them it picked the top 50. So when it did that, the model scored 213 points, and this is under the constraint. It scored 213 points, but if you randomly select any 50 submissions without checking which is better or not, then the model scored 156 points. So with its selection strategy, it gained 60 points. Now what the OpenAI developers did is that they removed the test time limit and allowed it to give any submissions that it wanted. So when it gave 10,000 submissions compared to 50 submissions, the score significantly improved to 362 points. So what it shows that if they use the grok, I mean like the GROQ I'm talking about, so if they use some kind of grok inference method and for every question they generate thousands of submissions, you can see the performance of the model improves way better than we saw previously. So this was this competition. Now if you move on to code forces, here you can see all the 4 models. The GPT-4o model scored just 808 with is 11th percentile, that is just 11% better than the competition. O1 preview model, the current model that we are using, the current best actually, scored 1258 and it lands at 62nd percentile. And the O1 model, the unreleased non-preview model, scored 1673, that is 89th percentile. And this coding specific model which I told you, the 4th model, it scored 1807 and a whopping 93rd percentile. So it was better than 93% of the competition. So this is a coding specific model that OpenAI tested. So they will release this model or not, we don't know. I mean, it's good if they release it. I am too much into coding, so I want that model. Tell me in the comment section if you want that model or not. Okay guys, so now let's look at the API side of the things. You can see here they are mentioning that it is available for API usage tier 5. So for the tier 5 users, the model is available at a rate limit of 20 rate per minute, which is very less, but available for the tier 5. I am not the tier 5, so I might not have access to that. And the API doesn't have support to functional calling, streaming support and all of that. And one more thing, O1 mini model, which is the mini model. I have not tested that, but I will be testing that in my next video because this video is getting too long. So that O1 mini model will be accessible to ChatGPT free users later down in the road. So when, we don't know. You know how consistent is OpenAI when it comes to releases. So let's not talk about that. Today is a good day. So let me just show you the pricing and all of this. So because there are some significant things, let's move on to the docs and let me show you. Yeah, so here you can see this is the O1 preview model, right? You have 128k context length as other models, but the generation length is 32k. Let me just show you. For GPT-4 mini, it is 16k. This was the previous highest, 16k token generation. But for the O1 preview model, it is 32k generations. The O1 mini has 65k tokens. So I actually tested this out. Actually, I think covered one article where OpenAI told about long output, about 64k token generation. I think this is the same model. So O1 mini model has 65k generations and with same 128k context length. So how good is this model? How good is this model when it comes to coding? I'll be telling you in the video in which I will be covering the O1 mini model. So this is pretty awesome. So all of this is very nice, but let's look at the pricing, model pricing details. Yeah. So here you can see, let's look at GPT-4o. So 1 million input tokens, you have $5, and for input you have $5, and for output you have $15 when it comes to per 1 million tokens. And for mini is absolutely awesome. That is just 15 cents and 60 cents for 1 million tokens. So that comes out to be around 75 cents. GPT-4 is around $20. Now look at this. For the O1 preview model, input is $15 and output is $60. So it is around $75. I mean, like, the price is absolutely insane when it comes to API. It's near to the Opus pricing, I think. The mini model is quite okay if you ask me. $3 for the input and $12 for the output, so around $15. So $5 less than the GPT-4o model. So if this model is better in coding compared to the GPT-4o model, so this is a very good bet. I think the O1 mini model will be the one which will be used most of the cases. Preview model is, I mean, the pricing is off the charts, so leave that. Okay guys, so this was everything. So what's next? So they have mentioned that in the early preview of these reasoning models, they have not included browsing, file upload, file and image uploading and other features, but they will be making it available later down the road. And in future plans, they are telling that they may continue these two branches. They will be releasing the GPT series of models in addition to OpenAI O1 series. So I think we will be having two different series of models. I think GPT-5 and OpenAI O2 model. Previously, I thought that this will be combined as one, but I think according to what they are telling here, they will have these two different models. So we tested everything, but we need more time because as you can see, I didn't get much time with this model. So I'll be personally testing this out in my personal coding project, in other things, and I'll be sharing my review on my X profile. So make sure you follow me on X, where I'll be sharing more details when it comes to these models and other details as well. And let me just tell you, I'll be covering the mini model in my next video, comparing it to the O1 and other models when it comes to coding and everything. So if you like this video and if you are into AI when it comes to AI updates, AI news, I would highly suggest to subscribe this channel. Hope you have a great day ahead. Thank you guys for watching.